Good morning, or whenever you're going to grab this. Got a question. What do you regret? Do you have anything that you wish you would have done, wish you would have purchased, wish you wouldn't have said? That's what we're going to be talking about today on the Leaning In with Anne live stream. We do this every morning, and I just talk about whatever came into my head first thing in the morning that I need to share with you. So today, it's all about regret. Let's just go to kids stuff. Are you ready? Regret. Not when I was little, but is there anything you wish you would have pursued or your parents would have helped you with or something that you regret now that you didn't do? One of those things for me is art lessons. I'm not an artist. It wasn't a natural thing for me to do. And there was nobody saying, you know what, I think you should. Okay, so art is one that I regret. It's interesting that that's how I say it because I could take an art class. Anytime, I just need to, it feels really vulnerable, right? When I was a kid, it was just like a thing I had to do because of school. For me to choose to do art right now, super vulnerable. But I can change that regret around. I cannot change around the regret I have of not sending my son to space camp. That's funny, right? He really wanted to go to space camp. And I thought, oh, what a cute little pipe dream. And I found out as a teenager, he actually regretted that I didn't help him get to space camp. Kind of like my parents didn't help me with school, art lessons. I didn't ever connect. That one, I can't get back. He's 32, almost. I can't send him to space camp now. Darn it. Okay, what about things that you purchased or did not purchase? Any regrets there? I've got some big regrets. Not about purchases, but man, regrets suck, guys. Through my divorce, trying to keep my head on while I was dealing with betrayal trauma was huge. Some of the things I did, trying to make the best decision possible, not having full awareness of what everybody else was experiencing because I was so knee deep in my own traumas that there were decisions I had made totally regretted. Now, I want to talk to you about kind of where regret comes from. There is a place where the Spirit is inspiring you to do something. Sometimes it's your own desires. There's a sign that I saw, one of those little things you can put in your house, that said, I could explain it to you, but I'd blow your mind. I love that so much, and I didn't purchase it. And this morning, it came up on my feed because I took a picture of it, laughing about it, and posted on Facebook like 10 years ago. So funny. And I regret. Now, that's not a spiritual thing necessarily. It's just one of those things. For big decisions, the ones that are going to enhance your life, things that you're going to invest in maybe, those are different. Those of you who have not been with me before, I'm going to share this. Those who are with me, we're just going to reiterate it so that you remember. The reality is there is only one God, and He's always nudging you towards the things that are going to help you the most. The things that are going to give you what your heart desires, the things that are going to enhance and develop you or prepare you for a future event. He's always working for your good. And there's something called the law of opposition. And how that operates in this setting is that there's also then only one enemy. Only one enemy. It turns out it's not the guy who convinced you should do something and waste your money. You know, that guy. Because you may have had some feelings like, yeah, probably not. But there was so much excitement, and they talked to you about all sorts of things, and it would be so good, right? Yeah, he's not your enemy. Let me tell you what happened. This enemy, common enemy of us all, was messing around, trying to convince you that it would be a good idea, knowing that it wouldn't. How do you know the difference between God warning you and the enemy telling you it's okay? It's so subtle. How do we do this? How do we hear the voice of the Lord and kick out the bully when there's something really important for us to do? Well, the first thing is to recognize how those thoughts are coming into your mind. So, really want you to hear this. If you can grab this one thing, so many things are going to change for you. So, in your head, there are 3 healthy voices. 3 of them. The first one is your voice. Your voice questions, ooh, I wonder if I should do that. I wonder what it'll do for me. It's kind of the dreamer too. Oh, if I do this, then I could do that. It's always trying to figure things out. It's always evaluating. And it's always seeking for the best and for truth. So I'm going to say that again. Your voice is always seeking for what is best and what is true. Now you're going to say, oh yeah, really? Because my voice tells me I can't, and that I'm not good enough, and that I just need to get out of my way, and my voice is telling me it's not possible, and my voice is telling me to be cautious, and no, it's not. The second voice, let's go to this one. This is the voice of the Spirit. The voice of the Spirit will say, do this now. Like I've had times where in my religious practice, fasting is a thing. Kind of get rid of some distractions. It's really cleansing for the body. They found out now to do a fast, but in my religious practices, people have been fasting once a month for years. It's something I grew up with. Anyway, that's usually on the first Sunday of every month. It's kind of a group fast where everybody fasts and prays, connects with God, and kind of says, hey body, shh, I'm in charge of you body. The Spirit is stronger. I'm going to do this. Well, there's sometimes where I'll just be minding my own business, getting up, doing a thing, and the Spirit will say, fast today. I'm like, it's not the first Sunday. What are you talking about? I don't need to fast. But the reality is, that was the Spirit. There is something, some kind of communication, some type of strength that I need, something that I'm not aware of, that the Spirit will say, do it. Also, let's take it into kind of a more normal thing. It will say, go get gas. It will say, call your friend. Oh, every day it will say your prayers. Every day. Every day. It will nudge you. Now, depending on whether or not you've responded to it is how loud or how subtle it is. Because when you start paying attention to it, it becomes louder. It's like, oh my gosh, you were there all the time. I had no idea. Okay? That kind of thing. The voice of the adversary. The reason why you know it's the adversary is because it comes in a barrage. So it'll say things like, say your prayers. And it'll go, no, you can do it later. You don't need to do it right now. It's fine. You're okay. You can do it tomorrow. You're too busy. You're too tired. Just get in bed. There is a multitude of compulsion of things that come at you if it's the voice of the enemy. All the time. So it's not just the negative though. What if someone is giving you an opportunity to do something and they are good talkers and you're like, yeah, and in your heart you feel it. You're like, that feels really good. That feels really good. And then the minute you get alone, it's like, no, don't do it. It's not going to be worth it. It's going to make your whole finances blow apart. Your husband isn't going to support you. This isn't going to be good. They're just talking. the more the barrage happens, the more you know that is not something for you to take part of. Here's another thing about that, is that happens most easily when you don't know what you want. This is a huge thing. I learned this from Leslie Householder, and I love this so much. When you have a vision of what you desire, and you've actually kind of not just thought about it, wished for it, hoping somehow God will bring it to you, but you've actually taken the time to go, what does it look like when I'm there? What does it look like when my relationship with my children or my spouse is solid and they're coming to me and asking me for support? What does it look like when the business that I'm trying to do is actually completely functional and set? What does that look like? When you can do that, then what happens is the opportunities that come to you, you'll know really easily whether or not that is a yes or that is a no. Opportunities are coming at you at all times from both sources, from good sources and from sources that are not actually for your benefit and good. How do we know? Especially, let's talk about money for a minute. When you are desperate because you don't have enough, you don't see how you're going to get out of what's happening. You have no clue how this is going to happen. And you pray, Heavenly Father, please help me. And then enter in somebody who has some great answer for you. If you don't know what it looks like when you are calm, when the breath, because you have the money, when you haven't looked at that and gone, I wonder what that will feel like, then you're actually sitting in desperation, and you're most likely attracting those things that may not be so great. But you get all excited about it because this might be the thing. This might be the answer. This is possible. And they promise you all sorts of really cool things. I am a questioner by nature, and I am skeptical about everything. So, what I have learned to do is be really, really connected to the voice of the Spirit. The only way to do that is to know what you're feeling inside. Because that doubt, that crazy, that I'm not sure, that could be absolutely you messing around with the enemy. I'm pausing because I'm trying to say this in the right way. When the Spirit tells me no, because I sit in peace most of my life, it is very peaceful, and I go, no, not for me. I appreciate that you're so passionate about this. This is something you really love. I'm so glad. I hope it's successful for you. But I am actually really peaceful and able to say no thank you without any guilt, without any feelings of obligation, without feeling like I'm letting them down. Why? Because me and God have worked out what do we want the most, and I can just sense the no. But if it's a yes and it's actually going to stretch me a bit, let me tell you what happens. I will get all excited. My head will go, oh, this is it. I think this is what I need. Oh my gosh, I think this is what I need. And then my heart will go kind of like compulsion, like pulled towards it, right? And then my gut will feel kind of nervous, excited, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. But then the minute I say maybe I shouldn't, I get the excitement coming back again. And that's when I can say, it's not sign seeking. That's when I can say, hey God, I am totally feeling this. I need to know if this is from you for real. I don't want this just to be me doing something that's actually not going to be great. I would love for it to be you. Can you send me a confirmation that this is actually you? And I will tell you, it comes. Confirmation comes. So I don't want you all to have regret. And I know that sounds really weird, but vision with me for a minute. What is it that you want to have? So I would love for you to answer that. I'm thinking I get to start training mentors. So my vision is having this great retreat for the people who are training to do what I do. Because I take 10 people per year under my wings. And I teach them mentorship, and I give them a program that they can actually mentor so they can start having impact right away. I also am going to connect in a way I've never connected before, but I've wanted to. I have never been up to Michigan, where my mom's family is from. I don't know anything about most of that side of the family. And my uncle, for his birthday, his girls are taking him up to Michigan, and they've invited me to go. He's not doing super great, so this is the last opportunity that I will ever have to see his stomping grounds, see where my mom grew up, find out more about my ancestors, my people that I have never even known. When that opportunity came to me, I'm like, oh, I can't, I'm too busy. That's not, no. I've got all of these other things to do. And I had that head, heart thing. And I go, but I don't have the money. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to come up with the money to do that. And I'm training mentors, you know? So how in the world am I going to take a trip and train mentors? No, this is not possible. My head and my heart kept going, no, sweetheart, this is it. This is something you don't want to not do. So when they started really planning, I was going back and forth in my head, no, I shouldn't do it. That's irresponsible. That's one of the bully's big things, guys. When you're supposed to do something, he'll say it's irresponsible of you to do it. But your heart and your head's like, no, this is actually my answer. This is something I need. I do not know why I need to be up in Michigan. I can feel it though. And so I started asking for some signs. Hey, is this really you? Got some answers. And then they all started talking, and they planned the date, and the date was going to cause a problem to that mentor apprenticeship that I already laid out. And then somebody says, yeah, the airlines are cheaper on Friday than they are on Monday. Can we switch it to a Friday to Friday instead of Monday to Monday? Oh, I can totally do it now. I can fit everything in. And the money came because it's a soul's yes. When God says this is a thing, then He provides the opportunity and the means for you to get it done. Guess what I'm not going to do? Because I stared regret down in the face. I am not going to regret that I never captured a sense of my heritage. I am never going to look back and say, man, I wish I had done that with them. Especially when my cousins all get talking about how much fun the trip was. I will never actually say that. Ever. All right? That's it, everybody. Handle your regrets. Let's stomp this out and get you moving. Thanks, everybody. See you later.